Welcome to This Week in Ames. I'm your host, Tony Ugolini, and on today's show, we're checking in with Public Works. Our guest today is Tracy Wagner. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Tracy, tell us how long you've been with the city and what you do on a daily basis.
Well, I'm the municipal engineer with Public Works Department, and I've actually been with the city coming up on 14 years. So time flies when we're having fun, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit about what I do every day. We take care of the public infrastructure, and I'm the head of the engineering division, so we are looking more long-term at the infrastructure. So if there's street pavement that is failing, or water main or sanitary sewer that needs rehabilitated, drainage, flood mitigation, those types of projects. Big one we're working on as well is the Grand Avenue extension. So we just got environmental clearance, which is a whole red hot news flash. So we're super excited about that because we've been working on that for years.
So the west parking lot at City Hall is under construction.
It is.
What led to this project?
Well, the pavement was failing. It was a thin layer of asphalt relatively. Once the city had taken over this facility, we had that parking lot in place, and it was time to replace it. And much like we require for developers as they redevelop in the community, we held ourselves to the same standard of doing stormwater management and at the same time rebuilding the infrastructure.
And this project is unique in a few ways, in the fact that you are not reconstructing lot MM or the extreme west end of the parking lot. Is that correct?
So the lot MM is a newer parking lot. So since I've been here, we had purchased 2 properties and taken down the houses, and then we designed and built the Veterans Memorial and lot MM. So it's new pavement, didn't need to be reconstructed. So we're just focusing on what we call lot M, and then the landscaping all around City Hall.
And for this project, you're not just tearing out the old and putting it in a new typical parking lot, right?
Right. So currently we have a phase under construction that people may have seen or not, but what we did was take out the old asphalt, and we took out what's called a sub base under that, and we cored that out and put several feet of rock. And so that rock with some subdrain is actually managing stormwater, so flood control and improving water quality. And then we're placing layers of asphalt on the drive aisles, and then in the parking stalls are permeable pavers. And so the water goes down through that permeable paver system.
Okay. Will you talk more about the stormwater and how it's such a big deal and what this project is doing to address that?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Squaw Creek, the area, Squaw Creek basically is where the stormwater from this site discharges directly to.
Okay.
So the storm sewer pipe kind of parallels Grand Avenue, goes down beside Hy-Vee, and discharges directly into Squaw Creek. So if we have stormwater that it rains heavy, just gets right into the storm sewer, it just gets right to the creek really fast. But if we have some stormwater management that holds that back, then it discharges at a slower rate, and it filters out the like hydrocarbons and nutrients that are put on if people fertilize, or drippings from cars and things like that. So it's not getting into Squaw Creek.
So can you tell us a little bit about how the stalls will allow water to pass through?
So it's a permeable paver system. So it looks like kind of bricks.
Yeah.
And they're interlocked together, but they're on thick layers of rock. And so there'll be rock chips in between them, but the water, as it rains, it goes right in between those pavers and into the rock system.
Okay.
And then eventually into a perforated subdrain system, and into the storm sewer to discharge. Ultimately we did need a discharge point, but slows down as it's leaving the site compared to how it used to be.
Okay. And I believe that you did get a grant for this project.
We did. So we applied and received $100,000 through the Iowa Department of Ag and Land Stewardship.
Okay.
It's one of the urban demonstration sites throughout the state. It was a state competitive grant application. And then we've received several hundreds of thousands of dollars from what's called the SRF sponsored projects. And so that's the state revolving fund. As we have projects that we're doing in the community to improve water quality, we applied for that funding and were successful on that as well. And that, again, was a competitively state grant.
That's exciting.
It is very exciting.
So back to Public Works.
Yes.
You are hiring, correct?
We are. We have 2 civil engineer, 1 or 2 positions open currently. And the job is posted now through about 5 p.m. on July 5th.
Okay. So there's a lot of construction going on in Ames. So what is the best place for people to go and find information about this construction?
Well, we have several means. We update the construction updates webpage, and there's periodic posts on Facebook. We do press releases as different things are happening. It is a very busy season. We try and cram a lot of construction in during the summer, and but we'll also be seeing a few other projects popping up and just starting here that'll extend into the fall. But keep an eye out. We do periodic spots on the radio. And obviously your show, we like to come and talk to you about it too.
Of course. Well, it's exciting. New stuff coming. That's really awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, you are welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Be sure to follow the City of Ames on Facebook and Twitter for more construction-related information. And coming up on Tuesday, July 4th is our annual pancake breakfast, which will be held on the east side of City Hall, followed by our 4th of July parade held in downtown Ames. Well, that's our show for this week. Be sure to tune in next week for This Week in Ames.